Do you think your dog sees you as its owner? Do you believe your dog views you as its caretaker, the one who feeds, nurtures, and plays with it daily? Think again. Imagine this: if you were to disappear forever, would your dog know where you went? Or would it continue to sit silently by the door, waiting in vain, simply because it believes that person will return? The truth is, to a dog, you're not just a human being, you are its entire world. In this video, you'll discover 15 heartwarming and shocking truths, revealing that dogs perceive you not through logic, but through their hearts and sense of smell. Dogs don't understand death, but they feel the loss. You'll never forget that look when your dog sits motionless by the door, ears perked up, silently waiting for someone who's gone forever. To dogs, time is a vague concept. They don't comprehend that death is final, but they keenly sense the emptiness when someone disappears. They sniff around the spot where that person used to sit, lie on clothing that still carries a familiar scent, or softly bark when they hear unfamiliar footsteps passing by the door, as if asking, "Is that the one I'm waiting for?" They don't know what happened, only that a part of their life has vanished, and that hurts deeply. Have you ever witnessed that moment? When your dog waits for someone who will never return? And then the next revelation might bring tears to your eyes when you realize that just one familiar breath is enough for them to recognize you, even after many years apart. A familiar breath is all they need to recognize you. Believe it or not, even if you've been away for a month, a year, or a decade, just a whiff of your breath, an old scent of sweat, or a familiar footstep is enough to make your dog cry with joy. They don't need to see your face. They don't need to hear their name called. Because for dogs, memories aren't stored in their eyes, but in their sense of smell. That's why many dogs who have lost their owners still wait for years, not because they're foolish, but because in their hearts, that person hasn't vanished. There are moments that seem ordinary, like you just walked into the house, but for your dog, it's a moment of reliving a lifetime of joy. Have you ever returned from a long trip and seen your dog run to you, barking and crying? Share your most recent experience. But if you think that's the most touching part, the next revelation might send shivers down your spine. Dogs can sense even the slightest changes in your emotions, even before you say a word. You haven't cried, but your dog already knows you're sad. You haven't said a word. No tears have fallen. You're just quieter than usual. Yet your dog has already approached, lowered its head, and leaned against your leg, as if asking, "What's going on?" Dogs perceive emotions not through words, but through how you walk more slowly, how your breathing becomes heavier, or even a very subtle change in your body odor when you're anxious or sad. Science has proven when humans are stressed, hormones and body odors change, and dogs detect that almost immediately. And what's most touching is they don't do this to get attention. They simply want to be near you, quietly but completely. Have you ever been so sad that you said nothing, and your dog just came to lie beside you, not asking to play, not needing anything, just to be there? But that's just about emotions. Your body changes. They can detect even earlier than you think. Dogs can detect illness before you even know you're sick. You feel fine, no symptoms, but suddenly your dog keeps sniffing a particular spot on your body, staying closer to you than usual. Strange, isn't it? Actually, it's not a coincidence. Some dogs have detected cancer, diabetes, even impending seizures, just through their sense of smell. The human body, when something's wrong, emits very small, faint chemical compounds, so subtle that even modern machines struggle to detect them. But a dog's nose doesn't. They can smell the scent of illness. A woman once escaped death because her dog kept sniffing a spot on her skin, and later doctors discovered an early-stage tumor. No degrees, no machines. They just need to love you enough to care about every tiny change. Have you ever noticed your dog behaving strangely and later discovered you weren't well? And if you still think dogs are just pets, the next part will make you reconsider. To them, you're the safest place on earth. You're the safest place, not because you're strong, but because you're home. Whenever there's thunder, fireworks, or anything that scares them, where does your dog go? Not under the table, not behind the couch, but right by your feet. They don't choose a sturdy shelter, they choose your heart. Because when they're near you, the cortisol levels, the stress hormone, in their blood drop significantly. Like a child being held by their mother, they feel safe just by your presence. They'll bury their head in your chest, press close to you at night, not to keep warm, but because you're the calm anchor in this chaotic world. Have you ever seen your dog just need to touch you to lie still and sleep peacefully? But the miracle is they know you're coming home even before you open the door. Dogs know you're coming home even before hearing your car. Have you ever come home and found your dog already waiting by the door, even though your car hasn't arrived yet? It's not a coincidence. They sense your biological rhythms, movement habits, even your energy. Your body has a unique signal, and to dogs, it's a familiar tune. As it gets close to the time you usually return, or when they feel you're about to appear, they hear that in their own unique canine way. Many people have tried coming home early, and their dogs still knew. No need for clocks, no need for schedules, just heart and intuition. Dogs sense that person is coming. Have you ever wondered why every time you're near home, your dog is already waiting? Share that moment. And when you look back into those eyes, that waiting gaze, you'll understand why. A dog's eyes speak without words. Have you ever been tired, turned around, and seen your dog looking at you for a long time? Not blinking, not demanding, just watching? To dogs, eye contact isn't a challenge, but a bond. The memories in their eyes, the first time you hugged them, the time you went through a storm together, the morning they woke up to find you still beside them. They don't need to say, I love you. They just need to look at you long enough for you to understand, I'm here, I understand you. Do you dare to look back, really look into those eyes? Because for dogs, that's the only way they can tell you everything they can't put into words. And if you accidentally look away or snap in a moment of fatigue, do you know how much that hurts them? A harsh word can shrink that little heart. You didn't mean to, just a tired day you snapped, go away, or simply ignored the gaze they gave you. But to dogs, that's a small but deep wound. They don't react with anger. They don't sulk. They just quietly retreat, curl up in a corner, eyes downcast as if asking, what did I do wrong? Am I still loved? Dogs don't understand scolding, but they feel emotions. And the sad thing is, they don't get mad at you. They just hurt, but still love you as if they'd never been hurt. Have you ever seen your dog lower its head, silently retreat to a corner, just because of an unintentional reaction from you? But even if you scold, forget, or neglect, they still choose you, and only you. Dogs don't choose caretakers, they choose hearts that listen. In a house full of people, some feed them, some take them for walks, some play with them, but strangely, they choose only one person to bond deeply with. Not the one who feeds them the most, not the one who plays with them the longest, but the one who looks into their eyes when petting them, the one who talks to them every morning, the one who never gets angry without reason. And once they've chosen, their heart has no room for anyone else, whether that person is perfect or not. They just know, this is my person. Can you guess if you're the chosen one? If so, that's an invaluable gift. And if you're still unsure, let their strange behavior when you're away answer that. Your belongings are their shelter of longing. You've been away for a few days, and when you return, all your socks, shirts, blankets have been dragged into the middle of the house? Don't be quick to get angry, because that's not mischief. It's your dog's way of keeping you close even when you're far away. The scent of sweat on your shirt, the creases on your pants, the breath lingering on your pillow. All are invisible threads they cling to, hold tightly, as if saying, I miss you. The socks drag around the shirts you just took off that they lie on, are all ways they say, please don't stay away too long. Have you ever seen your dog lie quietly on your clothes and if you've ever thought it's just a dog, The next part will completely change that. Now, to dogs, you're not just a person, but an entire universe of love, memories, and safety. If you've ever been moved by their gaze, behavior, or just once realized they understand me, then you're holding one of the purest relationships in human life. What does your dog usually do to show love? Share in the comments, I'll read every line. And if this video makes you see your dog differently, stay tuned, because this channel isn't just about dogs, it's about love, silent, profound, and eternal.